All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Token Metrics Live. Thank you all for waiting. This is going to be quite a show. We have Bill here. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Ian, hi, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so as you can see, change of scenery. I'm now here officially in Austin, Texas. First week here. We'll be building up the studio over here, the new Token Metrics studio. So bear with me as I kind of fill up the empty space, and also bear with the audio for now. My microphone is not hooked up yet, but let us know if you're having any technical issues with the stream. Just post down below. I have multiple monitors here, so hopefully there'll be no issues. All right, so that being said, let's see who was first on the stream. Okay, so first on the stream was James. What's up, James? Just give me 1 second. Let me double check. So shout out to James Locker, C Sharp on Twitter, Dare, Alpha Diallo, what's up? Why Daz Avani, what's up? Soy Fre, how are you? Bonjour. Eric, Joker, Razmi, Dylan, Florian, Eric A, Chris, Dylan. Sound good? All right. All fine is on the stream. What's up, Seg Swiss on Facebook? Mateo, what's up, fam? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Bows, New Kid on the blockchain. Paul, Luca, Thomas, Digitally Wide. What's up? All right. Be sure to subscribe, turn on alerts, and let's get into it. Bill, how's your week?
My week was good. Did a lot of studying, getting people ready for the stream.
Definitely. Okay, let me just. So, anything exciting you did this week besides that?
People, what I did this week was crypto, and when I wasn't doing crypto, I was doing crypto. We launched our quant grade, and we had a lot of people who were looking for TA, so I was on top of that.
All right, awesome. Okay, let me just give me 1 second. Sorry. All right, so we do have an official statement to put out. First of all, thank you so much to everybody who took advantage of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday promotion. The last 1 week has been the best week ever for Token Metrics. We have so many new customers join. We've just been overwhelmed, and that would be an understatement. We've been overwhelmed with the amount of interest in the promotion. So thank you to everyone who took advantage of that 40% discount. I mean, that means so much to us. And kind of the downside of that is when we have so much interest, right? The team was basically working overtime trying to keep everything running, right? So if you have any customer support tickets, please be patient. We'll definitely get to you. Don't worry. Just for perspective, when I looked at it at about 3 days ago, we had almost 700 support tickets open, and now that's down to about 300. So our team is working hard on a weekend, 24/7, different time zones. So please be patient with us. Just know that there's lots of interest in Token Metrics, which is a good thing. And speaking of good things, as a result of that, we're actually also hiring. So if you have experience in crypto and experience in customer service, definitely email us. Email info, info @tokenmetrics.com. We definitely want to bring on more people who have crypto experience to help with customer support, because Token Metrics is getting very, very popular now, and we have to make sure we can scale with all this new demand. And speaking of that, there are also issues with the indices. Our team has been working on those. So almost all of them should be up to date, except for the Binance day trading index, I believe. Our developer is asleep, but he was definitely working on the weekend trying to make sure that there are fixes. But almost all the indices now should be working. If there are any that still have any issues, definitely contact support. Now, the official way to contact support is to go to our website, log in. That way we have your actual account information. Then go to the bottom chat in the bottom right-hand corner of the site, or just email support@tokenmetrics.com. If you do email us directly, make sure to use the same email on your account. That way it's easier for us to kind of match you up. That's the official process to submit any support requests. So that means if you try to contact support via Twitter, via Facebook comments or via any other channel or even Telegram, the official method is to do it directly on the site. That way we have all your account information and it will be much faster for us to take care of you. But with that being said, thank you so much. Razmi, the email is info@tokenmetrics.com. info@tokenmetrics.com. Email us your resume. That'll make things a lot faster. This is, so actually, let me see if I can pull this up here. Give me 1 second. Because we are hiring for 3 different roles. If you just Google Token Metrics careers, that should take you to our job board. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, yeah, so these are the job boards we're hiring for. Now, all these are remote jobs. We've been remote since day one. So prior to even the pandemic, we've always been remote, right? Our team is based all over. I'm now based in Austin, Texas. Bill's based in Houston, possibly Austin as well soon. We have people in New York, in London, in India. So pretty global team. So these are the 3 main roles we're hiring for, right? Cryptocurrency customer support, because we have so many new customers joining. Then if you are a senior data scientist or a senior machine learning engineer, we definitely want to talk to you. Definitely go here and apply. And also we're always on the search for more full stack developers, right? So the link for this, just Google Token Metrics careers and that will take you there. But definitely understand our team is working hard to make sure that we're helping our customers, because we know everything we've done so far is as a result of you. Are you looking for a UX designer? Possibly. Email us your resume at info@tokenmetrics.com, info@tokenmetrics.com. All right, so with that being said, thank you so much. It was definitely a blessing. Bill, any comments to add?
Friends, as always, we appreciate your business. We appreciate your patience, but I can tell you as an analyst, it will be worth any potential wait. There's already a lot on the site, and we know people are using the information to do well. So again, welcome to Token Metrics.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, all right, so with that being said, let's put out the Menti code, because I know people are going to want to submit some questions for the AMA. Let me pull that up here. Just give me 1 second. Okay. All right, so today's live stream is how to prepare for the next crypto bull run. So how to prep for the next crypto bull run. We'll give you crypto market updates for December. We'll cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, which has been on a huge run. We'll talk about the upcoming airdrop as well. And as usual, we'll answer any crypto questions you have. Bill and myself. Be sure to join us on social media at Tokenmetrics Inc. on Twitter, at Tokenmetrics on IAG, and Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, of course, and the podcast. Okay, so if you have any questions you'd like to submit, go to menti.com, that's MENTI.com, and use the code 2867480. That's 2867480, and submit any questions you may have. All right. Okay, so let's move on through this. We already covered the quant grade updates or the indices. Okay, so a special announcement we have to make for you, to all our crypto family. Okay, so we're doing a 100x live stream with Bancor Network. This is a project we've covered before. We've done a code review on them. Their head of growth marketing will be joining us for an AMA on Wednesday, December the 9th, 12 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. UTC. And guess what? For the first time on our show, we'll be giving away BNT tokens. That's Bancor Network tokens to our audience members who ask the best questions. All right, so definitely make sure to tune in. set your alarm. We'll be giving away tokens to people who submit the best questions, right? So if you want to earn BNT tokens for a project that is pretty good, they're launching basically version 2. They'll be coming on board to share the updates, and we'll take the best questions, and we'll be giving you basically an airdrop. So definitely be tuned in. We'll be taking questions via, I would say probably just via everything, but we have to kind of figure out the best way to take questions and to make sure we have people's contact information. So I think we may even ask the questions ahead of time. So stay tuned for more information. I think maybe worst case, we'll probably just take questions maybe via the comments, but have people contact us, or maybe via Twitter. Twitter might be easiest because there's DM, right? So most likely we'll be using Twitter, okay? So definitely be sure to tune in on Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. UTC, to earn free tokens. And I think people always love free tokens, right? Especially for great projects. Okay, so let us continue. We covered the agenda, shout outs, updates. We'll do showdown, question of the day, and crypto therapy. And then the AMA. Okay, so time for us to do the market update with Bill. Bill?
All right. Let me pull this up. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the market update. I'm Bill Noble with Token Metrics. It's December 6th, and I have some good news. The United States says it's not going to ban Bitcoin. We all live with this ever-present risk that one day governments are going to wake up and say, nope, stop, over, right? Well, when enough big players buy enough Bitcoin, it's amazing how people can change their minds. So I think this underrated news headline was perhaps one of the best news items of the week. Now, let's talk the real best news item of the week. Michael Saylor goes out and buys $50 million worth of Bitcoin at an average price of $19,400. Now, I, like you, have been watching some of these corrections. I have watched this market at its all-time high, and it's sat around here long enough and chopped around here long enough to start making me and everyone else nervous, right? I think you know what I'm talking about. And then I see this tweet, and I see this chart, which is Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategy. And I'm like, what is my problem? This guy is aping into Bitcoin at the all-time highs. The stock of his computer company is now basically a Bitcoin ETF. And as you can see by this chart, is gapping higher. Okay, MicroStrategy is moving from the bottom left to the top right, right? It's gone parabolic. Now, let me ask you this. December 2020, do I want to be remembered as the analyst who was too chicken to stay bullish because ETH was moving around in the $20 range when this guy is acting like an absolute animal and buying Bitcoin at 19,000 like it's going to 50? This tweet and this chart helped adjust my perspective, okay? Now, if we go to the next chart, let's talk more about MicroStrategy. This is a quarterly chart of Saylor's company's stock. And as you can see, as we head to the end of the quarter, a major breakout is possible. On the show, we have a saying, the bigger the base, the higher into space. MicroStrategy took off as one of the favorite .com darlings back near 2000, and then subsequently fell apart because of an irregularity on accounting. I actually studied it in business school. However, this chart will show you that the stock has made a 20-year base. So if you're worried that Bitcoin is too high at 20,000, the stock of the guy who is just draining Bitcoin out of the system may just be getting started. Okay, Ethereum. You know, when is Ethereum not tough to deal with, right? In 2019, you know, we were on the live stream early 2020, and we were like, Ethereum's at, 280. Is it ever going to go up? Are we there yet? And now the same thing's going on, except ETH is at 600, right? It goes down to 560 to 580. It looks like it's going to go to zero, and then it just stops and comes right back to 600. Now, do a little diagonal, Gann art on the Ethereum weekly chart, and lo and behold, what do I see? Well, I see some diagonal resistance at 600. And folks, let me just give it to you simply. If ETH can get a weekly close through 600, like really punch through, the next diagonal point on this chart is at 1300, right? Which is a nice way of saying Bitcoin above 20K probably triggers a 1x in Ethereum. All right. Now, let's talk about other big altcoins. Okay. I know. Litecoin. I'm back. I know. No one likes it. Let me tell you a story. I'm going to take a little bit of risk here. Sometimes small anecdotes help. I talked to somebody who said he has spoken with 5 individuals from what we call the normie world, right? So they're not crypto people. And when they bought crypto, these individuals chose Litecoin. Now, I stood up and paid attention because all 5 individuals in this very informal study were all female. Crypto is largely an all-male community, like, 75, 80% between the ages of, 18 and 40, right? What happens if new people, which includes like new men and women, come and discover this fast version of Bitcoin at $80, which, oh, by the way, is about to break out of a huge diagonal point after making a base for 2 years. So I'm not showing Litecoin today. I'm showing something, a coin that could have appeal to not only new people, but new people who happen to be female. All right. And I think this is something that the changing demographics of crypto and how much it could expand is something that could help calm your nerves in this sort of choppy consolidation. The number of people that are coming to crypto and the number of types of people is large, right? Okay. Now let's go to Token Metrics, your favorite data-driven AI website for crypto. So I did a filter. I took a look and I just wanted to see the monthly quant grades for all the big coins. Just like, where are we? Is it the 80s? Is it the 70s? You know what? It's 90 or better from Chainlink on up. That's Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, etc. Now, there are coins that are rated, that have higher ratings in like the 98s and 99s. But for the market update, I just wanted to look at the bigger coins. And these quant grades, they're good. Okay. Bitcoin was at 99, was one of the highest we'd ever seen when Bitcoin was at 4,000. All right. And that's when it bottomed and turned around and went up. So based on these quant grades, I don't see any reason why this market can't continue higher. Okay, so let's talk about altcoins, big and small. Now, this chart has December, January marked in gray boxes. Okay, those are the long rectangles. Basically, that shows where Bitcoin dominance has dropped during December and the first quarter of the following year. What does that tell us? Well, as I hinted earlier, Bitcoin can take out 20K. It can go to 22 or 25. But then what happens? Then alts, ETH, XRP, Litecoin, Chainlink, all this undervalued and underappreciated crypto and technology can just take off. So the seasonals favor the big altcoins as well. Now, speaking of big altcoins, this is Ian's favorite chart. Alt market cap, okay, 3-day chart. And right here, as we sit, December 6th, altcoin market cap is at roughly 215 billion, okay? And that happens to be a diagonal resistance point. Now, if altcoin market cap, most likely led by ETH and XRP, actually take off, okay, you're talking about a move from 215 to 288 billion in market cap, okay? That is a big, big move. That's probably ETH at 1,000. Okay, now XRP. We would like to welcome the XRP army to Token Metrics. The consensus on the XRP rally goes something like this. Everybody got emotional. Everybody ran in and bought it because of an airdrop. And then once the airdrop comes, XRP will dump. Okay. I don't know whether or not that's true. I can't draw a chart formation to see whether or not, XRP will in fact go down because of an airdrop on a coin no one's ever heard of. However, what I have heard of is that XRP has got support at 58 cents. I know that if XRP can get a weekly close above 67 cents, it can go to $1.13. I know XRP travels on a really fast blockchain network. I know XRP is money. Okay, it's money. It can be used to pay for things. And I know that XRP's parent company, Ripple Inc., has a lot of good strategies, relationships with, financial companies. And in a way, they're a little bit like MicroStrategy is for Bitcoin, right? So MicroStrategy is a tech company that has a lot of Bitcoin, and Ripple Inc. happens to be a technology company, a fintech company that, has a big XRP position. So why is everyone in love with MicroStrategy and giving Ripple and XRP a hard time? The narrative on XRP may have changed. And the story people should think about is what happens if XRP does this airdrop and people come in and buy the dip and it goes down and comes back, then what? Right? I mean, if XRP turns around and goes back to 25 cents, then I just say, well, I'm wrong. I got stopped out and that's it. But what happens if XRP turns around and holds? All of a sudden, you've got this, token or cryptocurrency and corporate structure from Ripple Inc. that everybody was giving them a hard time. And all of a sudden, they just became fashionable, if you asked me. Now, I may be the only one talking like this, but that could change. Okay, now let's talk DeFi. We on this show are espousing the idea of DeFi 2.0. Somewhere in the near future, all of this Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is going to be seeking a return. People are not going to just buy the big cryptos and sit on them. They're going to enter the DeFi system somehow. Now, in research, you get paid for imagination. So as with the XRP story, my DeFi narrative, again, revolves around the fact that the revolution in 2020 was that Bitcoin became a powerful currency because it was seen as collateral in a lending system that created interest rates, which made the currency more powerful, and round it goes. So DeFi 2.0 to us is coming. Now, to refine the idea, from a chart perspective, we're seeing something called an Elliott wave, a series of ones and twos. Okay. Now, in Elliott wave, the wave you want to catch is the third wave. That's where you get the most gratification. Okay. And you take the least heat on dips. Now, with a series of ones and twos, here's a better way to explain it. The market starts and then it stops. And then it starts and then it stops. And in the case of the DeFi futures contract, it stopped and started again. And the more times you do this stop-start thing, the more potential there is for a parabolic move up. Now, is it so hard to imagine that ETH could do a 1x and take Yearn, Aave, Uni, Link, and all the big DeFi coins up with it? Seems like a natural progression to me. All right. Super popular, the all exchange trader daily index from Token Metrics. Now, what's been happening on these daily indices, as I've noted on the show, is that there have been clues inside these indices for coins that you can buy, and then they take off to such an extent that they could wind up being hodls. Most of the time they're trades, but sometimes they show up and they wind up being hodls because of the degree that they take off. This was true with XRP. Now, in the all exchange index, I'm noticing we have, starting in the bottom right, we have Aave going up to the top right, Yearn, Uniswap, Cosmos. Okay. This is the first time since these indices have been out that I've seen like a DeFi dominant portfolio. Okay. This leads me to believe, especially if these coins stay in this daily index for say 3 to 4 days, that there is a possible gap move up in DeFi and in alts once Bitcoin takes out 20K. All right. Now let's do something unusual. Let's talk about common sense, right? Everybody's here. We're all at the all-time high in Bitcoin. Everyone's afraid. No one has any confidence in the rally. Everyone's afraid it's going to turn around and go to 3,000. And then I said, wait a minute. Again, do I want to be remembered as the guy who chickened out at the all-time high? I don't want to be that guy. So I took a look in the equities market, right? Remember before we were looking at the market cap? Okay. So I took some of those numbers and this is the second time we've made a homemade spreadsheet. Snow, a cloud computing company. In other words, they have software and code. Their market cap is 107 billion. They went public this year. So Snow appeared in the publicly traded equity market this year and went to 107 billion market cap. Snapchat, right? An app frequently used by, very young people, has a market cap of 71 billion. That's 3 billion more than ETH. And someone's going to tell me that ETH is too expensive? ETH is cheaper than Snapchat. Say that 3 times. ETH is cheaper than Snapchat. XRP, which again can't cut a break from anybody in the crypto community, is worth less than half of Snapchat and a third of Snow. Again, what does Snow own? Well, they have code, software, right? What's cryptocurrency? Code. So code in the equity market is worth, I don't know, 3 times what it is in crypto. Chainlink, Litecoin, 5 billion market cap versus Snow at 107. Okay, so you probably got the point. The point is, I don't want to be the bullish guy that gets off the bullish train right before it makes an all-time high. I understand that there are risks. I understand that there could be a big dip. I understand that interest rates could go up, right? The vaccine could cure it all, and nobody would need cryptocurrency. Everybody goes back to the dollar, and we all go back to our lives because the pandemic is over. So I don't want to be a moon boy and say there are no risks. Of course there are risks. But the biggest risk of all is getting off the crypto train just because it was psychologically difficult to stay on it. So my concluding word, bull markets do strange things. They're not easy. I've been saying this all year. There are these flash crashes the day before a holiday. There's the Friday night drop. And then there's the sit and wait and wait and wait and wait. And listen to your mind. Try to talk you out of your positions. I would encourage you to stay strong. And that's the market update.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Great update as well. A few comments from the audience. Red Dog says, well said, Bill. Crypto Air CK says they will print money again. Funky Fresh says XRP doesn't need Ripple to succeed. Love bull markets, which makes crypto go up. Thank you. All right. So if you like that market update, be sure to tell us what you think down in the comments below, and subscribe and share with all your crypto friends, and let them know why crypto is the future of money. Okay, all right. So let's move on to the next segment. Okay, so it's time for us to talk about Crypto Showdown. Okay, so go to menti.com, use the code 2867480. That's 2867480. And tell us what you think. Crypto Showdown. Which crypto will do best in December? Is it Ethereum? Is it Synthetics Network Token, or Chainlink? So we have ETH, SNX, and Link. Bill, which ones do you think will do best in December?
Okay, so this is a little bit of a tricky question, right?
Yeah.
I think the safest choice is ETH, right? Because ETH is so underappreciated and so underowned that the possibility for a gap move higher is just that big. Now, again, the risk to thinking it's ETH, and I'm going to just not be ashamed to talk out of both sides of my mouth on this. If DeFi wakes up, synthetics is going to 12, right? The high was 8. It's our number one long-term hodl on the quant grade. Synthetics is going to go to 12, right? Chainlink is frustrating everybody, okay? Probably including the Link Marines. But that means the day that Chainlink wakes up, right? The longer you have to wait, the bigger the explosion. We saw this with ETH, right? We waited forever with ETH at 287 or 285 and 300, and then it just took off and went to 600. So my answer is ETH, but I'm not going to be unhappy if I'm wrong and it's synthetics or Chainlink, right? Because DeFi is coming back next year.
All right, well said, Bill. So let's look at token metrics and see what the quant grade has to say. So if we go to the monthly over here, and just put in ETH. So ETH is rated very high, 94% for ETH. If we compare that with SNX, 89% for SNX. If we compare this with Link, 89.5, right? So 89.5 for that. Let me go back to SNX. So pretty much the quant grade thinks Ethereum, Synthetics, and Link in that order. Now let's go to Trader. Let me just take a look at Trader real quick and see if there's anything. So if we go to ETH, okay, this one is not as bullish. SNX is bullish here. And if we go to, what was the other one? Link, not as bullish there. So for those who are wondering, the difference between trader and value investor, trader is a shorter time horizon, and trader is a combination of price prediction and technical analysis, while value investor is basically looking at purely the performance metrics. So data points, quant metrics such as Sharpe ratio, so Sortino ratio. So right now we're in the process of testing the value investor or quant grade for monthly versus the trader grade for monthly. Thus far, the value investor monthly has been better and more accurate. So we're most likely going to be phasing out the trader monthly and just having daily and weekly for everyone to keep things simple. But that basically is the overview. Let's go to Crypto Showdown. So the audience agrees as well. All right. So they believe Ethereum is first, followed by Synthetics Network Token, followed by Chainlink. And I think the fact that we have Ethereum 2.0 has launched, and now they're in phase 0, this definitely does make things a lot more interesting. And if Ethereum can really, if they can fully launch and go through all the phases without any hiccups, I believe this is Ethereum's race to lose. Ethereum is going to become the major cryptocurrency. And I definitely strongly believe there'll be a flippening where Ethereum will surpass Bitcoin in market cap. So that's why I'm very, very bullish on that. Timeline for that is definitely far out. I've been on the record saying definitely by 2030, but it could happen in 5 years, maybe even less, who knows? But I think in our lifetime, it's definitely going to happen. Okay, let's see what people have to say in the comments. People saying Ethereum Classic is dead. Somebody says, I need the link to pump. Crypto Gamer says, Bill is the lead technical analyst for a reason. Good job, Bill. All right. Ryan says, I'm a Link Marine. All right. Link Marine's in the house. Okay, so tell us what you think down in the comments below. Which crypto will do best in December? Is it Ethereum, Synthetics Network, or Chainlink? Do you believe the audience was wrong? Let us know down below. Okay, all right. Let's go on to the next section. Okay, so time for question of the day. Okay, so question of the day. Will the Flare Network airdrop coming next week? Will XRP's price reach $1 before 2021? Okay, apologies, there's a typo there. But what we're trying to say is, what do you think about the Flare Network airdrop coming next week? Do you think it's going to take XRP's price to $1 by end of the year? So basically in 1 month, based on the airdrop, do you think XRP is going to over $1? So to all our Ripple army that just joined, or XRP army that just joined us in the last weeks, let us know what you think. The options are, I'm not sure, no, it needs more time, or yes, I'm very bullish on XRP. So what do you think? Do you think XRP is going to $1? Bill, what's your take on this?
All right. Well, I'm going to let the XRP army vote here. My thesis is simple, right? Everyone expects XRP to go down after the airdrop. And as a famous technical analyst once said, when everyone expects the same thing, something else happens. So if the airdrop occurs and XRP is supposed to go down, Well, I guess it went down. But if it doesn't go down, then everybody's going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to miss the train. And then I think it's above $1, honestly. Now, obviously, we have to let Mr. Market vote on the airdrop, right? But I think the bigger risk is that XRP dips and someone's there to buy it. Because if that happens, that would be a complete change from XRP's usual behavior, which is to go all the way up and all the way back down, right? Part of my thesis is that XRP is just, from a market cap point of view, the tokens are cheap relative to other technology things out there. So is it the classic XRP pump and dump, or are we in a new era for XRP? I wish the XRP army well. I hope it's a new era.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So let's go to token metrics and look at XRP real quick. So here are the price prediction models. So it's been pretty close. Obviously not 100% perfect, but pretty close in terms of seeing where the trend is going. XRP has been pretty bumpy the last few weeks. Our models have it going from about 59 cents, wow, all the way to possibly as low as 47 cents, and then slowly rising back up. So obviously not financial advice, but maybe the model is sensing that a possible airdrop dump, or maybe profit taking, or people just taking profits. Now, if we go to the quant grade, so the value investor monthly for XRP is 77%, so 77.3%. Now, for perspective, if we go to the summary page here, the monthly grade is actually decreasing. So a month ago it was 79, a week ago went up to 86. Yesterday went down to 74, and now it's 77. So it's kind of been going back and forth. But one thing to keep in mind, though, if we go to the quarterly here, XRP has a pretty good score, right? So for the next 3 months, the models are still pretty bullish on XRP, even though yesterday it had a huge dip, actually. Not sure why that happened. But all in all, I think it's kind of neutral, right? If you're just in XRP just for the airdrop, I think based on the price predictions, it does make sense to possibly anticipate a price correction all the way down to 47 cents. If you're a long-term hodler, or if you're in the XRP army, I think it makes sense to possibly hodl for up to 3 months, right? As mentioned here, up to 3 months, right? This is it's not the best of grades. Actually, sorry, that's trader. I'm sorry. My fault, guys. Okay, I'm sorry, everybody. I totally missed that part. Okay, so if we're looking at the value investor, actually, it does love XRP. Okay, hold on, sorry, but let me just check something real quick. I want to make sure we're looking at the same thing here. Okay, yeah, so apologies, new screens here. But yeah, basically for the next month or so, it's a good time to be in XRP. But if you're hesitant of any possible correction based on the airdrop, look at possibly going all the way down to 47 cents. With that being said, tell us what you think down in the comments below. CyberGot says, what is our price target realistically? For XRP, I mean, I think anything is possible with XRP. I think Bill mentioned it can go up all the way up to over $1. But based off of this for the next month or so, that's all we can really anticipate. So based on the models, not really seeing it going to $1 at the moment. However, based on this kind of long term, right? I think it's definitely one of the more bullish points. If you go to almost any of our indices, that they do hold XRP in it, and I think that's there for a reason. So all in all, It's hard to say, but things do look pretty optimistic for XRP in the next month or so. So tell us what you think down in the comments below. And be sure to check out Tokenmetrics by going to tokenmetrics.com. Okay, all right, let's move on. Okay, all right, so we're taking a question from the forum. Be sure to go to forum.tokenmetrics.com. We have a community of other users and customers and just people in the crypto space who go there and just ask questions and talk amongst each other. Okay, so question from the forum. This is a question we get all the time, but it never gets old. If you have $50,000 to invest, what will be the most probable and short and basically fastest way to grow it by 10x? Okay, let me rephrase that. So if you have 50K to invest, what's the fastest way to get a 10x? Okay, so this is the age-old question of how to make as much money as possible. Now, we actually answered a similar question like this on the last show, and the answer was best way to not lose money. Best way to make money is to not lose money, right? Especially in crypto. So many people have gotten wrecked and capitulated because they lost all their money trying to chase a 10x or trying to make a quick buck, right? So slow and steady wins the race, because so many people made money back in 2017, then lost most of it in 2018, right? So you want to be the person who made a good amount of money in 2017 and didn't lose too much in 2018, right? So for perspective, the reason why we've launched Tokenmetrics and the quant grade specifically is because of that. So according to PwC, back in 2018, when Bitcoin dropped 70%, Bitcoin dropped 72% in 2018, quant funds still made a profit. Quant funds were up 8%. They didn't do a 10x, but they didn't lose over 70% of their money, right? Because they had AI, they had mathematics, and all this high tech to help them manage and keep their capital. So that's why we made Tokenmetrics. Tokenmetrics might not get you a 10x when the market is going down, but it will help you not lose all your money, right? Obviously not financial advice, but for example, if we go to the indices here, so let's go to Value Investor, quarterly, let's do Coinbase. So this is not the sexiest portfolio around, right? It's definitely not the sexiest, right? It has Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Litecoin, Stellar, Dash, Ethereum Classic, Zcash. Oh, wow, okay, so this definitely has made a slight update. So this only has 20%, I'm sorry, so 15, 20, so 35% of the portfolio is in cash, is in stable coins. The rest is in Bitcoin and altcoins. So, because the thing, here's the thing in crypto, so many people lost money chasing all these low cap gems, and it's very hard to hit a home run with those. Yes, it's possible, but XRP and Ethereum can do 1000x. If you go back to the last bull run back in 2017, these were very liquid coins with high market caps, because I got into Ethereum at around $8, $9. Ethereum at the peak went to 1400. Just think about that. That's more than a 10x. So ask yourself this, would you rather have a 10x in Ethereum or a 10x in some shitcoin that's illiquid on some unknown exchange? Ethereum is on Coinbase, it's on Kraken, it's on Binance. You can sell $10 million worth of Ethereum without moving the market too much. But a low cap, it's very tough to do that, right? So I would say use the indices. They're designed to help you make money when the market is going up and help you preserve capital when the market is going down. But let's say you're a high roller, you want to gamble, not financial advice. I would just come to the ratings and just basically act like a sniper. So let's say you want to make money in a month. Come here, put in the ratings, put in your requirements. Maybe you say, show me cryptocurrencies with a market cap less than 30 million, because this is kind of what I was doing back in 2017 with ICOs. Ideally, we like market caps less than 30 million. Let's say trading volume greater than 1 million. And now then let me just sort this by grade. And now it's giving us projects that are pretty liquid with low market caps, right? So looking at this, we have IoT chain, injective protocol. This project has been on Binance. It's been pretty popular recently. I think they're also working with Serum, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But basically, this is kind of your watch list, right? You can come here and now go through all those different projects. Maybe let's look at injective protocol, because this one I think is on more credible exchanges. So this is the sniper approach. You're more likely to strike out using this approach. For those wondering, projects that are brand new, for example, this hasn't been trading for a while. That's why there's no yearly grade or quarterly grade, but there is a monthly grade. All the other grades will come. So this has been trending upwards. The grade has been getting better and better. If we go to the price prediction, let's take a look at this and see if we have enough data on this. Okay, so even the price prediction is pretty bullish on this. Then here, for some reason, it's predicting a crash. Not sure exactly why the model has that, but the fact that this is bullish on the price prediction and the grade is bullish, this could be one to look at, right? So I would do those two approaches. The first approach, to recap, use the indices. This is more passive investing. But if you're doing more trading and you don't mind being a sniper, kind of finding those few coins, even if you're doing that approach, I would not put more than 10% of your portfolio. I'll probably keep it at maybe 5%, maybe even less. And do that to try to get the 10x returns. Bill, anything to add to that?
Yes. So for the person with $50,000, right? Not a trivial amount of money. What you want to do is you want to eliminate desperation from your thinking, right? When someone's talking about getting a 40% return, that's aggressive investing. When someone's talking about a 10x, you know, they're really hungry or really desperate. Now, how in this insane world do you get desperation out of your thinking? Well, you have to repeat to yourself over and over the show's new motto. I'm not too early. I'm not too late. I'm right on time. You haven't missed anything. You know, maybe your friend made money. Okay, but you haven't missed anything because it's just getting started. So the best way to make a 10x is to make a 40% return or a 30% return. And we showed you some of the coins that could do that quickly. The path to a 10x is a 1x. Okay. And then along the way, as Ian showed you with the quant rankings and the low cap coins, you know, let's say you get a 1x in Ethereum. You can take some of that money and put it to work in low cap coins. Okay. In other words, you can play with the house's money, right? Not your money, right? You go out and put your money in a whole bunch of low cap coins, interest rates goes up and the pandemic is over and your money's gone. So again, the path to a 10x, it starts with a 40% return, a 1x, and then it allows, you know, it allows you to make calculated speculative investments so you build it up over time. Okay? You can get there, but you can't get there from a place of desperation.
Thank you, Bill. Absolutely. So Connor on YouTube says Base did 150x in 5 days, LOL. But okay, so let me actually check that out real quick because I've been hearing about Base. So the issue with all these projects where you hear them doing 150x, those projects are illiquid, right? Typically, they don't have much in terms of trading volume. But let's take a look at, let's go to CoinGecko and check out Base. Okay, so B. Okay, was it base or based? Okay, I think we're talking about base. Okay, this one I've not heard of. Thought you meant base protocol. Okay, so let's take a look at the trading volume. Okay, wow, 96 million. Is this the right chart? Let me know down in the comments below if this is the right chart people are talking about regarding the 150x. Because yeah, this does not look like 150x. Okay, maybe they meant based protocol. Yeah. So where's the 150x return? Okay, I'm guessing probably from like the ICO or private sale or something. So if we go to markets, let's take a look. Okay, so this is on Uniswap, 1inch exchange. Okay, this is incredible actually. Almost $100 million in volume in Uniswap. Okay, definitely gonna have to look into this one and see why there's so much trading volume on this. Okay, so King Nick says the market cap went 100x. Okay, but typically in general, projects that go that fast, they usually come back down just as fast. And I think Icon is the case study on that, right? Textbook Icon went all the way to $12. And if we go to Icon, it's never looked back, right? So if you're gonna, if any project goes up that fast, take your profits and run, right? I mean, don't sell everything, but because Icon went to $12, it's now at 41 cents. If we go to historical chart for Icon, right? That's why in crypto, you really have to have active portfolio management because this is textbook, right? Went from private sale was about 12 cents, went to $12, basically 100x, came back down. I mean, came back down and has not looked back, right? I sold Icon at, basically when it came back down and bounced back up, I sold at around 230 something. People called me stupid, crazy, but Icon has never recovered. And this is a good project. This is a project with good tech and everything. But I mean, that's crypto for you, right? So when you get those big returns, definitely take profits. Buy yourself a nice house, pay off your debt, then go on vacation and have a good life. All right, so tell us what you think. If you had $50,000 to invest, what would you do? Tell us down below. Actually, one last thing I wanted to add. For those of you who really do like those altcoins, I would come to the trader indices, the daily and weekly, and come to Uniswap, because here you'll find those altcoins with lower market caps. Right? So this is kind of like altcoin casino in a way, right? But we'll still try to give you a good portfolio that's diversified. So looking at this likes 0x, Ethereum, Unibright, Chainlink, Leo, Solve, Stasis, which is a stablecoin for the euro. So this is basically stablecoin, Decentraland, ELF, and basic attention token, right? If we come here to the daily and submit. So for those of you who really like to gamble, I would say this is probably the index until we launch a low cap index. This is probably it. Looking at this, so this is pretty much the same. So we have Energy, Augur, Tether. So no major updates since the last live stream. But all in all, that's what I would do for those of you who are trying to find those low market cap coins. So tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, all right, let's continue with the live stream. Be sure to smash the like buttons, subscribe if you're enjoying the stream. Okay, all right, so let me bring this up again. Okay, how do I know when to buy into a crypto when using the monthly, quarterly, yearly indices, especially when the system hasn't updated the list in a week or more? Okay, I mean, so that's the, that's a very, very good question. So if we come here to the indices, so ideally the best time to buy in is whenever it's going to rebalance. So for example, if you want to join the daily day trading index, um, I would just set the alarm for whenever it updates and just pretty much get in. But let's say you're in the monthly, right? So this one basically updates at the end of each month. So right now it is December 6th. I would still get in now, right? So I would basically say, look at how much time is left until the next rebalancing. Let's say it's December 25th. It probably makes more sense to wait until the 31st to buy that new index as opposed to buying this and holding. So I would say in general, just look at how much time is left, right? So if you have more than 50% remaining, then it probably makes sense to get in. But if it's about to rebalance soon, so let's say the monthly, if it's about to rebalance in less than a week, I think that probably makes sense. If we go to the value investor, I would say look at the prior time horizon and use that as a gauge, right? So if you're in the quarterly, if there's less than a month to rebalancing, I'll probably just wait it out. And if you're in the yearly, if there's less than 1 quarter to rebalance, I'd probably just wait it out. Bill, what's your take in terms of when's a good time to get into an index?
Okay, so this is the question that everyone has to answer when doing these portfolios. So I want to break it down into like, portfolios and then tactical thinking. Our indices, they're going to mature. They're based on AI and a lot of great mathematics, but they're not a replacement for thought and risk management. Okay. So you can just simply, when the time horizon shifts and it rebalances. So at the end of the month, if it's a monthly, you can just roll your positions into the new coins. Or if you're a longer term player and you want to say, keep an eye on synthetics. Okay. Then, you keep a chart, you ask us in the chat room. Okay. And when synthetics or whatever coin you're looking at dips, if you want to buy it for a year, okay, you grab it on the dip. So it depends how involved that you want to get. What I encourage people to do is to follow the coins that they like, follow the coins that show up in these indices, and then try to get in at the best possible prices. I think when Yearn and Aave and Uni showed up in one of the shorter term indices, that could be a hint as to where the next big, the person was asking about the 10X, that could be where the next big move is. So whether you're looking at a daily or a yearly, you want to track the coins that you're interested in. Okay. You can do it on the rebalance. That's fine, but you should still know where it is and at least one level of where you'd like to get in. Right. And if you can't figure that out and you're in the premium group, ask us.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So quick comments from the audience here. Wow, comments are going so fast. Somebody says, I look at the indices, scroll down, and it shows purchase price. And then I throw in some technical analysis. Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, so tell us what you think down below. So that question was in regards to when's a good time to get into the indices. So tell us what you think down below. How do you use tokenomics? Okay, Sukraj says tokenomics has predicted a BTC drop since 13K. How in the world did you claim to have 95% price prediction accuracy? Okay, so let me go over that again because that's something I'm guessing you must be new. Let's go through the price predictions again. right? So you said Bitcoin. Okay, so we have lots of videos kind of explaining this, but I'll go through it again because it is something that does trip up some people, right? So these are rolling price predictions, right? Rolling daily price predictions using machine learning, right? So the way this works is with every daily close and price, that gets updated in the price prediction, right? So what it's doing is it's predicting the price for the next 30 days. And with every new day that closes in pricing, that gets added to the historical pricing, right? So it's using the historical pricing to predict the price. Actually, sorry, let me just make sure I have this on. Okay, so when we say rolling price prediction, we're taking the historical pricing, so the all-time pricing of each cryptocurrency, and right now it's using only price to predict the future price, right? And the future price is constantly rolling forward because so from today, it will try to predict the price for the next 30 days, then tomorrow, the next 30 days, then a week from now, the next 30 days, right? So with every new daily closing price, that gets added in the historical pricing, which updates the prediction, right? What exactly do I mean? So you can't just come here, look at the price and say, okay, in 30 days, Bitcoin is going to be at 17,600. Let me make my trade investment. Let me walk away, go on vacation for a month and come back and expect the price to be the same, right? Because this is a rolling prediction, meaning that 1 week later, we'll have 1 week worth of daily closed prices, right? Basically 1 week worth of new data that gets added into the historical pricing to then update the model for the next 30 days, right? So this should be used as a trend forecast, essentially, right? Not as something that's perfect, right? Think of this as just kind of telling you where the trend is going, right? So in this case, it's telling us that the trend for Bitcoin is basically going sideways for the next month or so, right? Unless something crazy happens, right? But the model, so this is actually very bullish for alts, right? Because it's not predicting Bitcoin crashing. Right now, it has Bitcoin at basically around 18K, going down as low as 17K. This to me is bullish. It's basically Bitcoin is going sideways. That means alts could possibly rally, right? That does not mean go out there and make a trade and not look back, right? If anything, we recommend looking at this a few times a week just to kind of see if there are any big changes in the predictions. But that's how these predictions should be used, right? All right, thank you, Sukraj. Appreciate it. I like the fact that it updates daily. I like tokenomics. Okay, I mean, so in terms of the accuracy, if anything, I would look at the accuracy more as a daily accuracy, right? Because it's updating the rating for future days. Those aren't really the accuracy, right? So if anything, think of it as the daily accuracy, right? So if anything, maybe we make this daily accuracy to make it easier for people, but that's how the price predictions work. All right. So tell us. So I'm just trying to go through all the comments here. Okay, but hopefully that makes sense, right? So tell us what you think about the price predictions. We're always open to feedback and input. Bill, do you have any comments in terms of the price predictions, how you use them?
Yes. Let me help our audience out here. Okay. So this is TradingView, right? And this is the indicator and strategy section. And look at this unbelievable list of things that you could look at to predict price. Okay. It's ridiculous. Now, part of my job is to figure out which one of those to use. One of the benefits of token metrics is that our technology helps you narrow it down. We have quant grades, we have portfolios, and we have price prediction. Now, so instead of 100, We give you 3 or 4 that take into account all these things, but you still have to sort through them. They're designed to add to your thought process, not replace your thought process. Now, on this idea that the model has not been helpful for Bitcoin, that brings us to what is my job at Token Metrics. So if technology is telling us something, okay, and it's not working, like an indicator working is obvious, it's working, great. But if it's consistently not working, why is it not working? That's the question, right? Now, the reason it might not be working is because it's working off the past. And now in the present, we've got a CEO of a technology company aping into Bitcoin at 20K, and he's already got 40,000. And he's got tons of friends coming with him. That's a whole new development, right? So yes, sometimes you're going to have to pick which indicators to use, which indices to use, which charts to then turn around and look at. But again, if you look at Token Metrics, we're taking, dozens and dozens of data points, and that's going to go to hundreds and hundreds in the future. And we're narrowing it down to 3 to 4 things and a couple guys in a private Telegram group. Okay. So yes, it doesn't always work, but nothing in TA works all the time. And I can just tell you as a human analyst, in crypto, I will be changing the indicators that I'm looking at in a volatile market on a week-to-week basis. Sometimes it'll be 2 to 3 days at a time before I'll have to switch back and forth depending on the volatility, right? And obviously, I'm not going to be right all the time. And the same would go for a computer. The computer's accuracy is better, okay? But the best combination is Token Metrics and you. Your thought process matters.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Quick question here, Fast Entrepreneur on Twitter. So what does the predicted points in the past mean? The dots that you show. Okay. Good question. So that pretty much is the past prediction, right? So I would say it's the most recent prediction, which is typically the last day prediction, right? So that's why it's better to kind of think of this as daily predictions, right? Because the prediction is always being updated until there's a final closing price, right? So for example, if you have this prediction here, right, this is always being updated up until, right? Because as we get closer, we're getting all this new data, right? So imagine now we have 29 days worth of new data that gets updated into the price prediction to then predict the next price, right? So if anything, think of these as daily price predictions, right? I'll definitely talk to the team to see if we can make this even more kind of obvious with the terminology, right? But basically, for example, like the price for tomorrow, right? So the prediction, right? This prediction is basically locked, right? And then we'll see what happens, right? But that's how that works. So thank you for the question. Okay, all right. Time to continue the AMA. Okay, all right. So next question. Can we have a watch list on Token Metrics, please? As well as more tokens on our plans, please. I'm on the investor plan, and the professional plan is such a huge price jump to find the smaller coins. Okay, good question. So we are working on adding a watch list to Token Metrics. It's coming soon. I would say probably in the next week or so. We're actually hoping to have it last week, but there was just so much demand with the recent growth in customers that it was hard for us to kind of add new features while we're taking care of all these new customers. But if you go to these coins now, there'll be an option. So there'll basically be a follow button. Apologies, right now it's not fully working yet, right? There's a bug, but what happens is on each coin, there'll be a button for you to click the follow button, and then that will give you a pop-up menu with an option to get either email and SMS text alerts, right? Meaning that, so the way this will break down is anybody on the investor plan will have access to the email alerts, and anybody on the professional plan will get access to both email and SMS alerts, right? So being able to get a text message whenever, for example, the price prediction changes or the price changes or the grade changes. So all these will be coming, and there'll be an option for you to add a watch list. So we think that has been one of the most requested features. So definitely looking forward to that. So stay tuned. Then in terms of adding new coins or giving more coins to people in other plans, that's something we also plan to make an update sometime next year, early next year. Right now, we basically just want to wrap up the year, finish 2020 strong. Then in 2021, in Q1, we want to reevaluate and see how that will happen, right? Right now, we're basically working on finishing up the final steps to the integration in CoinGecko. Once that is done, and we're able to automatically import new coins in from CoinGecko automatically and scale to thousands of cryptocurrencies, that's when we'll look into reevaluating all of that, right? Because we think that is something people definitely want. Because if we can go through 3,000 coins, give you a grade and price prediction, that's a game changer. Nobody in crypto is doing that, right? So that's like the holy grail. So we're getting closer. We think hopefully by the end of the month, we'll have that switch turned on. That way, all these new coins, as they're entering crypto, we'll have all the announcements for you. Bill, do you have any comments?
Yes. Friends, we want to help you as much as we can and as fast as we can. I know that you're looking for those low cap coins. I know you're going to want them, and we're going to have them to you, we hope, by the time DeFi 2.0 kicks off. But just a brief reminder, okay? Again, perhaps the 1 and 2 and 3Xs could be in the larger coins, okay? So yes, I know you want more. We all want more. But there could be opportunities with what you have. So don't get distracted by what you don't have when what you do have may contain opportunities.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So all those new updates will be coming shortly. Okay. All right. Now time to go back to XRP again. The XRP army loves XRP. Okay, so we've kind of answered this, but I'll just answer this again for those who are just tuning in. Okay, so is your AI price prediction anticipating anything interesting with XRP around December 12th with the Spark token snapshot and the airdrop distribution moving forward? Your thoughts too, thanks. So if we go to XRP price prediction, now obviously this is not perfect, but looking at this, yes, it's anticipating a decline. So right now XRP is at 60 cents, and it believes it's going to go down to 55 cents and all the way down possibly as low as 47 cents. So basically people will be cashing out, right? And then it does anticipate XRP to rise up again, right? But obviously this is not perfect all the time. This is just one data point. As we mentioned earlier, we are bullish on XRP based on the quant grade for the next quarter or so, right? So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. XRP has been on a move, as you see here. It went from basically 25 cents all the way down, all the way up to almost 70 cents, right? Bill, your thoughts on XRP and the Spark token airdrop?
Yes. So at Token Metrics, we want to give you intellectually honest analysis, right? So we were fortunate enough to start talking about XRP before the move. And as the rally matured and we approached the token drop, Our theme is this. Everyone expects XRP to go down. It may go down a little, it may go down a lot. Now, if it doesn't go down a lot, right? Like say that price prediction of like a, kind of like a gliding dip where there seems like there's someone underneath, okay? That's going to be an important sign because everyone's like, wow, where's XRP going? Well, if there's big buyers underneath the market, you'll know. That's when you start talking about XRP at $1 or $3. But like every bull market, and this is something I haven't said yet about XRP, it's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money, right? In other words, crypto is famous for these moonshots. They pump and then they dump. It's a bull market, okay? In other words, $1, $3 beyond what the XRP army is looking for. It's a bull market when you can buy a dip. And the good news is for XRP, we are all going to find out really soon if there's dip buyers below the market once this token drop is done. Who's more powerful, the sellers or the buyers? If the buyers win out over time, okay, then XRP, when it turns to go up, it can go up a lot. Otherwise, it's going back to 25 cents and we'll be talking about something else. I tend to think there's going to be buyers below and going to give the XRP army the benefit of the doubt.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So definitely tell us what you think about XRP, the airdrop, Spark, all that good stuff. Tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, all right. So let's go on to the next question. So somebody wants us to look at 3 coins. So it looks like we're getting a crypto showdown via the AMA. So pulling those up. Okay, so we got Polkadot, Chainlink, Uniswap. Alrighty. Okay, so Polkadot, Chainlink, or Uniswap, what is a better investment for the next year? Good question. Okay, so we'll have Bill also pull that up on the TA front, but this is why we've designed Tokenmetrics. So I highly encourage you to go to tokenmetrics.com and sign up. We have discounted trials. Try it out for 7 days for $2 essentially, right? So plus you have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have basically nothing to lose. So let's say, so I would just come to Value Investor yearly, and I would put in, you said Polkadot. Okay, Polkadot hasn't been trading for that long, so that's why we don't really have. It's hard to use the quant rate to go out that far, right? But right now, wow. Okay, so this is not so bullish on Polkadot for the next 3 months, which is pretty interesting. But then the other was Link and Uniswap. Yeah, I think even if we go to Uniswap, all these new coins that aren't trading for too long, it's going to be tough to really have, right? Uniswap, even this is not rated too highly on the monthly, but Link was, right? Link on the monthly 64. But if we go to the yearly for the next 1 year, Chainlink, Amada's really like Chainlink, right? So at least based on this, right, Chainlink would have to be the better investment. Now, based on my this kind of opinion, I do own Uniswap. That's basically, I was part of that airdrop like everybody. That to me is a lifetime hodl. Don't really, well, I guess lifetime in crypto is like 1 year, right? When I say hodl, I mean, I haven't sold any Uni, don't plan to. Just gonna hold that, don't even look at it. Chainlink, as mentioned, we are pretty bullish on that long term based on the quant grade. But Chainlink is a decent project. Polkadot, I think, is the second best blockchain out there after Ethereum. When I say blockchain, I mean like for dApps, for applications, not really counting Bitcoin. So that's why I'm actually pretty surprised that the quarterly quant grade is not too high. but it hasn't really been trading for too long, and the price hasn't really gone anywhere, right? So I think that's also why. But from just a purely business standpoint, a product standpoint, it definitely does have a huge potential. Bill, what's your take on these projects?
All right, let's go through this. So I think when it comes to all three of these coins, imagination is important. Okay. Uniswap. Okay. Normally, we might refer to that as the altcoin casino, right? However, in research, you get paid for imagination. So you've got to imagine a world where Uniswap becomes like a place where DeFi, sort of like mushrooms out and grows. Now, I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know if it'll be Uniswap, but I do know this. I'm looking at the chart of like the DeFi futures contract that we talked about earlier, and that shows a huge move could occur. So the DeFi index could go up. So if the DeFi index could go up, well, so could Uni, right? And generally my theme is whatever the all-time high in whatever cryptocurrency we're talking about, as far as I'm concerned, it can go there, right? And I guess if the market goes down, as I like to say, I'll lose money. But I'm sticking with that until I'm proven wrong. Now, if you go to DOT, right, like DOT and Chainlink, right? DOT and Chainlink are doing something that probably would annoy a lot of people in crypto. Okay. And what they're doing is they're going sideways in a market that's full of excitement, right? There's nothing more annoying than, watching, based, as someone brought that coin up before, move the way it did. Okay. And your coin, your large cap coin, didn't go anywhere. Okay. So let's talk about DOT. Let me bring this up. All right. Now, one thing you have to remember about DOT is it's not operational yet. It's conceptual. Now, in equities, this happens all the time where, something isn't fully launched and it's actually being traded. So it's not totally unusual. I would liken DOT to Ethereum a long time ago, right? In other words, Ethereum, I think, was in a range for all of 2016. It was like this sideways triangle. And it probably bored everyone to tears before it just totally exploded. Now, with DOT, I'm noticing that the range is compressing. Okay. So I think this kind of matters, that we're going from a big range to a smaller range. And as things wind themselves up, all right, that's how you get that spring up. Now, how long is it going to take DOT to wind itself up? I don't know, but I do know this, folks. Yes, it's Ethereum's race to lose. But again, with all this Bitcoin that's going to need a return, people are going to chase returns. There's going to be more than one DeFi highway, just like there's more than one way to get into New York City from New Jersey, right? There's tunnels, there's bridges. There's going to be more than one highway. Now, let's go to Chainlink. Okay. Again, we at Token Metrics want to support the Link Marines. They believe in their coin, and Chainlink is going to be how everything gets connected, I think, going forward, at least in the DeFi universe. However, this chart shows that people are frustrated, right? Up here, you break out, right? You break out. It looks like it's going absolutely to the moon here. Okay. Then you get the Thanksgiving drop, and now we're sitting back in the middle of the range. In my opinion, Chainlink is coiling, right? So what's the best long-term investment? I think it's it's Chainlink, right? Because when Chainlink reprices itself, it could go from 15 to 30. All right. But with all three of those coins, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of a toss up because, again, in my opinion, once DeFi 2.0 gets rolling, okay, all this stuff's going to gap higher. In other words, I'm talking about being a little bit of a contrarian. Like DeFi 1.0 was about finding the small stuff, right? DeFi 2.0 could be about being patient and owning the big stuff. So I didn't really answer the question. Okay, I'm giving the Link Marines the nod because I know that they're frustrated, but that frustration is carrying across a bunch of different coins.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So let us know what you think down in the comments below, and be sure to check out tokenmetrics.com and subscribe. Okay. All right. On to the next question. I have 50% BTC and 30% ETH in my portfolio, and the rest is smaller coins. Am I too conservative? I feel like I'm missing out on gains. I bought my BTC at 10K and ETH at 350. All right, good question. So basically 80% is in Bitcoin and ETH and 20% in alts. Are you too conservative? First question I would ask is, what's your time horizon? Right? Obviously, we can't tell you what to do, but that's why we have the indices. So if you come here to the indices, we have the time horizon right here because that will dictate everything. If you are okay holding your money or your investments for longer than 1 year, then you're probably going to be more conservative because you want to make sure what you're holding will be worth something longer than a year. But if you're holding or basically trading for just 1 day, you can go into more riskier assets. So that's why that matters a lot. What the portfolio you have is actually a pretty conservative portfolio, I would say. Let me see. So for example, if we go to the Trader Value Investor Yearly, let's take a look at what this has compared to the portfolio you mentioned. So yeah, so almost all our indices don't have that much in Bitcoin. They do have Bitcoin, but not as much as 50%. They have about 35% on the yearly. Then they have other alts, and if they have actually a lot less in Ethereum. Now that's based on everything we have. Maybe that's because ETH hasn't really gone back to all-time highs. But if you're looking to possibly reduce I'll probably just maybe possibly look into reducing Bitcoin or ETH if you're following any of the indices here. Because if we go to the quarterly index, for example, let's take a look at this. I don't think there's any index that has 50% in Bitcoin and 30% in Ethereum. Yeah, almost all of them have about 35 and 10. Then the rest is in altcoins or some stable coins. So to kind of answer your question, it all depends on your time horizon and when you need to get the money out. Bill?
Okay, let's begin with this. So you bought Bitcoin at 10K. Congratulations, you made money. That's where Sailor and Novogratz probably bought a bunch of Bitcoin. Crypto is the biggest mind F I've ever seen of any market. Someone can make money and call us up on the show and go, I'm crying. Folks, sir, man, you made money. That's great. Now what you can decide is, what am I going to invest that in going forward? Because now I'm playing with the house's money. So did you miss out? No, you didn't miss out. You're right on time. Now, can I show you what you have missed out on while you were holding your Bitcoin and your Ethereum? Let's take a look at Yearn. Okay. Now, this thing is a monster, right? And probably long term, it's probably going a lot higher. But let's talk about what you in fact missed while you were making money in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. In September, Yearn started at around 31,000 and it went to 8,000. Okay. So you lost a lot of money. Then everybody sold it below 10K, and then it ripped right back to the upside. And where did it come? Right where it was in September. That's a couple months ago. So what have you missed? You know, you missed, I drank too much and then I got sick. You missed that. While you were making money, you're a winner. You're an absolute winner. Now you may be able to take the same approach that you took in Bitcoin and Ethereum and apply it to Yearn, Aave, Uni, right? Link, Polkadot, right? It's like basketball. Shoot your shot, or like in football, run the play until it doesn't work anymore, until they stop it. So whatever you did in Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can apply that to what you did in what you do for DeFi 2.0. So are you too conservative? No. There's no conservative, not conservative. There's people who make money and people who don't. So if you made money, you can use that money to invest in faster moving, more speculative stuff, okay, that may do better than anyone thinks. Again, as I said earlier, Yearn, Aave, and Uni showing up in some of our portfolios flagged by our AI system. So don't get depressed if you lost money, and definitely don't get depressed if you made money.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, I think people seem to forget sometimes that, sometimes it's just nice and slow that wins the race. Okay. Yeah. So as Awoken says, depends how actively you want to manage your portfolio. Absolutely. Okay. Skylar Gray says, great words. All right. So tell us what you think. What do you think about that question? How would you go about doing that if you had a portfolio with 50% Bitcoin, 30% ETH, and 20% altcoins? Would you do anything different? Let us know down in the comments below. And be sure to join tokenmetrics.com. All right. On to the next question. Okay, so this isn't really a question, but I just wanted to let you guys know that us as a community and customers really appreciate what you do and have done for us. What was the original reason that got you both into crypto? Thank you, guys. Oh, wow. Okay, so what got us into crypto? Where do I start? To be honest, the original reason was the money, right? Because I was investing in equities. My friend Eric, who's the founder of Rebase and Pareto, but anyway, he came to me and said, Ian, IBM is doing cool stuff in blockchain. Can you connect me with the IBM blockchain team? And I was working in IBM Watson Analytics, so didn't really know much of IBM blockchain, but I did know blockchain was one of those key focus areas for IBM. And I said, why do you care for this? So pretty much I was trying to qualify him before I kind of try to use some social capital to kind of help him with intros. And the more I learned about what he was doing, the more I got even more intrigued, because I'm pretty direct, because I guess that's just me as an engineer. I'm pretty direct, don't really beat around the bush. I told him, okay, why do you care for Bitcoin? Because he told me he was a Bitcoin developer, and this is what got me. He was around 27 years old, launching a crypto hedge fund. And I said, crypto hedge fund? And I said, you're 27 launching a hedge fund. That got my attention ASAP, because I said, okay, young guy launching a hedge fund. You're my age launching a hedge fund. That's pretty cool. But for Bitcoin, for crypto, I said, okay, how much money are you making, right? And he told me he was making 200% just hodling Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when I went online I checked the charts. I said, he's not lying. Right? I said, okay, you know what? Let me learn more of this crypto stuff. So that same night, I began watching videos on YouTube about Bitcoin. I think there were the Tizen videos on his channel. I joined Coinbase, put $100 bucks on Bitcoin, $100 bucks on Ether, and got some books on Amazon, The Age of Cryptocurrency and Digital Gold. And that was really why I got into crypto, right? So just being fully transparent, I got into crypto to make money, right? That's why I'm investing, trading in crypto. Then I stayed for the financial freedom. I stayed for the economic empowerment, right? I stayed for the community, right? I stayed for the disrupting the future of money, right? Because crypto is now the future. So that's how I got into crypto. How about you, Bill?
My story is different, but I like it. So after 12 years at Goldman Sachs, I had been a specialist in helping them navigate markets when they get really volatile. So I got a phone call one day from someone who was on what was then our proprietary trading team, right? Banks used to have units that could trade with the bank's money, okay? And these guys said, hey, Bill, can you take a look at crypto? We're dying to see what you think. So I took a look at crypto and I studied it in the most seemingly laughable way you could think of. I got a book about a guy who used to chart the stock market when it was volatile. His name was William Gann. And I actually started drawing the charts by hand with a pencil, as well as doing other analysis. So my buddy gets a hold of it and he emails it to some of the biggest names in crypto. So I did a couple of pieces. And one day, one of those big players responded to my email. And it didn't take long before I discovered that this is what I wanted to do when I grew up. I was 47 years old at the time. And I got on LinkedIn and I somehow got connected to Charlie Shrem, okay, of Bitcoin fame. He happened to be running through an airport looking for somebody to do analysis. And I bridged the gap between legacy and crypto markets for him, for his group, right? I wrote about crypto in the context of other markets, right? Like not just what's going on in crypto, but what's going on in crypto, stocks, bonds, and how does it fit together? And then, of course, one day I came across Ian Balina, Token Metrics, and most importantly, probably one of the greatest catchphrases ever, Diary of a Made Man. And I'm like, Diary of a Made Man in crypto? Are you kidding me? Where do I sign up? And then he's like, hey, we're going to do YouTube. And I'm like, well, I've never done YouTube, but you know, we started with 500 followers and we're at 17,600 thanks to all you wonderful people out there.
Yeah, thank you to a crypto family. We're now almost approaching 20,000. Might I even maybe do something special for that? So thank you for everything that you do. Yeah, so smash those like buttons and thank you all for the support. Crypto is the future. Okay, all right. Let's continue on to the next question. Okay, so looks like we got some Solana fans here. Okay, your thoughts on Solana? Can it go 100x? Okay, all right. So as Bill pulls that up, let's look at the rating for Solana. Actually, let's begin with the daily. Solana. So we got 65% on the daily, 72% on the weekly. If we go to the monthly, 55%, 48%. Okay, so the best score is really on the weekly. So it looks like for the next week or so, that might be the best. I mean, can it 100x? Anything is possible in crypto. Now, Solana does have lots of big names backing it. What I did like about it is they had a price floor for 90% of the ICO price, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think that price floor did kind of protect it from any corrections. Bill, do you have Solana pulled up on the
Yes.
TA?
Yeah, coming up. Okay, so this is your Solana futures contract. All right, let's talk about what this picture looks like to me. So obviously it comes out right at the top of the DeFi bubble. Everyone FOMOs in, and then it takes everybody almost, 3 full months to puke it all out, right? This right here was the give up, right? Everybody gave up right there. Now, this big green candle comes in, and now Solana is in a digestion period, right? So the new buyers are taking it from the bag holders. Now, does this look like 100x? It doesn't. Does it look like it could be a part of the next altcoin wave and go back to its high? Sure. Now, what's going to determine that? Well, again, this inflection point right about like $1.80. Let's see if the buyers show up. So it's December 6th. We're looking at Solana and we're trying to figure out, will buyers show up? And if you start to see people buying Solana and you continue to see green candlesticks, right? Because it's the new buyers versus the bag holders. In any of these altcoins, especially if they came out, in the DeFi days and then they went down and they have big names behind them, don't underestimate what they can do. Can they 100x? Folks, if something's going to 100x, you've probably never even heard of it. We've never heard of it, right? That the stuff that 100x's is the stuff that no one knows about.
Until now, when we launched the coin grade,
right,
for all the coins.
Right.
But so speaking of that, speaking of 100x's, so I did some quick research here. So Solana, right? So they had their auction on CoinList and they closed at 22 cents, then launched on Binance. Then I went up 500%, opened at a high of $1.33. Then, so I mentioned that they had a floor, right? This auction allowed Solana community members to participate at favorable terms, as the reserve price floor of 4 cents per token was significantly below Solana's last private round valuation of $25 per token. Okay, I'm not sure that's what I'm looking for. I mean, was it really 4 cents a token price floor? That's the auction, not the... let me see if I can get a different page. Because I think it was, it was CoinList. Okay, let me do a quick search here. Okay, so bear with me as I pull this up here. Okay, yeah, so 22 cents per SOL. So 100x would be $22. Can it go to $22? Okay, so mainnet data, March 20th. I mean, I think they really have to launch everything, right? So if we go back. Okay, so sorry. So it's not a floor per se, but it is for stakers, right? 90% staker price guarantee. Solana plans to launch a staker price guarantee after the auction. The goal of the program is to encourage staking and price stability, right? So as part of this program, auction participants who stake their tokens will enjoy a 90% price guarantee on their staked SOL tokens. Okay, so you have to stake this. So is that from the 22 cents? So anyway, going back to the chart here, right? So it went all the way up to almost $5, $4.79, right? So let's say 480. Honestly, if 100x is $22, that's like, let's say $5, that's like 400% from here. So for 4x, 5x from here, that's definitely possible, but just going based on purely the market cap, right? Let's say there's no inflation, right? Even though that's, looking at this, is definitely going to happen, right? Because the only 10% is circulating, right? But let's say, so let's say that's like 4 to 500 million market cap. Yeah, that's I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon until they maybe begin actually doing something, right? But so if we go based purely on market cap, right? So that would put them between the ranges of top 50. So Zilliqa, Algorand level. I mean, that's possible. I can definitely see them getting up into this all the way. So let's say top 40 to top 50 market cap project. I think that's definitely possible for Solana. But that's just kind of going based off of the market cap, where they are. Now, we did look at their tech a while back. It was decent. It was good, but still very early, still kind of experimental. They had lots of large claims that need to be substantiated by just execution, right? But they have kind of been doing pretty well thus far. But let us know what you think. Are you guys bullish on Solana? Definitely curious to see what people have to say. Abraham says probably so. Okay, yeah, so tell us what you think. Are you bullish on Solana? Okay, all right, so let's check the comments. I saw somebody here had a super chat, so I want to make sure I don't miss that. Okay, all right, so here's a question. Okay, thank you, Sadul. Thank you for the super chat. What do you guys think of Acropolis? Acropolis. Okay, so first of all, we actually do know the founder, Anna. Met her in London. For those who followed our channel, she's the one who took us to the blockchain center in London. This was back in 2018 during our Crypto World Tour when we went to London. So looking into Acropolis, first of all, let's see here. Do we have this in the platform? Okay, I don't think we have Acropolis added. Interesting. Oh, am I spelling it right? Okay, definitely gonna have to look into this. But let's have Bill pull up Acropolis. But if we go to DeFi pools, I want to kind of see where Acropolis is right now. Okay, I guess how would they classify themselves? Because they're kind of doing everything in DeFi. Okay, yeah, why Acropolis is not even showing up on DeFi pulse. Okay, all right, let's take a look here. Okay, so market cap about 30 million, trading volume about 16 million. In terms of markets, they're on Huobi, Binance, so it's definitely liquid. They're on good exchanges, KuCoin, so they're on all the major exchanges. So they're definitely in DeFi, but it's because last time when I met them back in 2018, they were trying to do pensions. Now it seems they kind of are doing everything, right? So looking at this, they have borrowing and lending, saving and earning, building. This is what start and scale your full profit DAO here. Built with Open Zeppelin. So now it seems like they're kind of trying to do everything in DeFi. They definitely are doing a lot. Um, I'm not sure about the actual fundamentals because I thought we had this on our site. Not sure what happened. We'll have to check with our tech team. Bill, what do you think about Acropolis from a TA perspective? We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Okay. So Acropolis on KuCoin. Now, I've seen this a lot in DeFi. Basically, this looks like Kava in a way, where, so December 6th, we're watching a lot of these small DeFi coins that they sort of puked out so bad that it's almost like they died in October and had to form a base for like a month. And we've got a saying on the show, the bigger the base, the higher in the space. And these type of coins that normally I would probably give up for dead, I actually think just the opposite. So because this is actually made a base and it looks like, you know, people are selling the first rally, like right here, right? In other words, I'm taking the opposite thinking you would expect. In other words, in cryptos that have bag holders, Stellar, Cardano, these things have gone up a lot, right? So I don't know if we have to all sit around now and be like, ooh, you know, my coin, you know, lost 2/3 of its value. It's dead. No, maybe not. And this could be a case. Now, again, you know, it has formed a nice base, but there is resistance here, right? There's resistance in a couple places, and this coin has to prove itself, right? But when it comes to something that's that beat up, if you like it, if it has a good fundamental story, again, that's a key if it has a good fundamental story, these things can go back to their highs, can go back to 5 cents, right? That's like roughly the high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever happened in DeFi 1.0 can happen in DeFi 2.0. And one of the tricks, like people forget that Chainlink was around for a really long time before it moved. Chainlink, correct me if I'm wrong, went back to 2017.
Yeah.
So the hidden gems and the 100Xs, you know, it will show up in our quant grade. It might be new coins. Obviously, we don't care. We want you to make money, but it could also be stuff that came out that got crushed. So that could be one of those candidates. So somewhere in the universe, there will be new DeFi tokens and old ones that come back to life. Something to consider.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Well said. B. Collins on YouTube says, Acro is jack of all trades, master of none, but it's being pumped on Binance. That's a great way of putting it. All right, so tell us what you think about Acropolis down below. Definitely curious to see what our audience has to say. And be sure to check it out on tokenmetrics.com. We'll be adding it shortly. Okay, so one more super chat from Ryan. Let me pull that up. Okay, what is your outlook on Singularity Net over the next year? Do you think it can hit $3? Okay, thank you, Ryan. So let us take a look at that. Okay, even that I don't think we have on our platform because, sorry, just give us 1 second as we pull this up here. Yes, that we do not have. So I'll defer to Bill with the TA. But in general, that project has been out for a while as well. Hasn't really done much to my knowledge. Looking at this from CoinGecko, the market cap rank is 175. So not the best market cap, right? So 48 million market cap, trading volume 188,000. So that definitely does concern me. For instance, for all our indices, we don't put anything less than with less than 500,000 daily trading volume. So the fact that this is very illiquid is concerning. And that's on Binance too. Right? They have Binance, KuCoin, Uniswap. Barely any trading volume on Uniswap and KuCoin. Binance is pretty much the only market, and it's tied to Bitcoin. So I think just the fact that it's illiquid would scare me away. But I mean, if you're into it for the tech, then let's see what Bill has to say from a TA perspective.
Okay, coming up. Okay, so this really reminds me of back when we started. It was like we would pull up destroyed altcoin after destroyed altcoin after destroyed altcoin. So again, this comes out, it crashes, it goes from 26 cents to 4 cents or 2 cents. And now we're all just sitting here. Now, it's possible that this is making something called teacup and handle. Teacup and handle is older than me. It reflects this odd theme throughout all of crypto, that things that were very old from a TA point of view work well, which is why I'm sort of an interesting add-on to token metrics. So we have artificial intelligence and ancient history brought back to life in crypto technicals. So with teacup and handle, you have, basically a rounding base, and then you have this little hiccup that occurs once it exits the rounding base. That's the handle of the teacup. Now, those are pretty choppy, but sometimes what can happen is it can just pop out. We're looking at this formation in Ren. I put a newsletter out that had at least 4 or 5 of these things, reserve rights. Okay. I don't see any reason why this is different. I mean, obviously it's illiquid. Obviously you can get killed doing something that illiquid, but what do you want to own once Bitcoin tries to say, take out the all-time high? Or what if the price prediction is right and Bitcoin just kind of goes sideways? Some altcoin is going to follow ETH higher, right? We talked about ETH, we talked about Litecoin, we talked about synthetics, Yearn, all the DeFi 1.0 stuff. But folks, some of this dead stuff is going to come back to life, right? So if you look at our quant grade and you see any of these coins, I mean, this one isn't there, but there's going to be an opportunity in stuff that got killed in August and September. And I'm not going to tell you it's not this coin. It could be.
Yeah. Anything is possible in crypto, as we like to say. All right. So tell us what you think down in the comments below, and be sure to sign up for Token Metrics by going to tokenmetrics.com. Okay. All right. A few more questions or comments. People are asking, so as mentioned, we plan to look into possibly expanding the amount of coins available for each plan. Right now, Hodler plan has 20 coins, Investor 100, and Professional is unlimited. Once we add the auto import from CoinGecko, we'll be having thousands of coins. So Professional would stay the same at unlimited. Investor plan and Hodler would likely change. We've not confirmed the exact amount by how much, but stay tuned. I would say probably by early next year, I would say maybe January, latest February, would announce the update. Right now, we just kind of want to finish a few other updates we're doing with the platform, such as the alerts and all that. So stay tuned. Thank you, C Sharp on Twitter. Appreciate it. Let me see here. Okay, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Okay, all right, so let's go back to the AMA. So thank you for the question on Solana. Okay, so here's a Here's a question. I think mainly for Bill. Okay, Harry Dent and Peter Schiff are both talking about a massive general crash before April, up to 90% across the board. The former, at least, saying only US bonds are safe. What are your thoughts on this? Okay, so basically a market crash in April or prior to April, up to 90%. Bill, what do you think?
Okay. So it's really good question. These guys have made quite the splash as an analyst. They've come in when everyone's talking crypto, and then they're pulling out the everything's going to zero card. Now, just one note that hasn't worked in quite some time, and that assumes an event that the Federal Reserve and central banks cannot handle. So let's use our imagination. What would make capital markets fall apart that severely? Well, the first one would be possibly wonderful news that the pandemic was over, the vaccine worked, and there was absolutely no need to print money. And if anything, they needed to raise interest rates, right? Bond yields went screaming higher. And if you wanted to buy a house or a car, it was, 8% with perfect credit. Okay. That likely hurts the market. Now, of course, there's another scenario where, I don't talk much about because this is crypto YouTube and generally it's crazy to begin with, in that there's something really wrong with this virus. It's kind of like a Hollywood movie in that it's a possible disaster, right, for humanity. Now, that's interesting. That gets them to the top of the Twitter universe by calling for that. But as I say, it's really short show. It's like, wow, everyone's going to get the virus. It's the end of the world. Okay, time to wrap up the show. I think at the end of the day, it's the primary job of government to protect the people. And ironically, in crypto, governments are actually our friend, because if the markets go down 90%, they can't afford to have that happen. You'd have social disorder on a Mad Max type of scale. So, is it possible? Should you be prepared? Should you have a first aid kit, some bottled water, and some canned goods? Probably. Would I trade your portfolio based on that? No, I would not. I would trade it on the fact that crypto's the future and a lot of our quant grades are good. Okay. Now, with all that said, I'll wrap it up with this. Don't be so confident in your positions that you don't have protective stops. So if you got a bunch of Ethereum, you bought it at 400 and it went to 600, then make sure you have a protective stop in at, say, 350 or 400, right? In other words, you want to protect yourself in case there's some kind of event, because I can tell you right now, both of those analysts, particularly Dent, I believe is his last name, that guy's not stupid. Okay, so the analysis is based on something. So just protect yourself, right? And then implement your view until it doesn't work anymore. Okay, but obviously out there in the world, there are some very unusual, scary things happening. You need to take that into account and just respect the fact that those things are out there.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So tell us what you think. Do you think there'll be a market crash prior to April of up to 90%? If that happens, it's going to be a tough ride. But anything is possible. Obviously, we're bullish on crypto because in a way, we're kind of shorting fiat currencies and the dollar. But I think with equities, from my perspective, that can be propped up longer than anybody expects. Because that's what is happening right now with equities. Pretty much the stock market is just being pumped up to oblivion, but people are losing purchasing power. And I think that's definitely a huge concern. So let us know what you think down in the comments below. Okay, so thank you, whoever told me that. I did miss a super chat. Okay, so somebody wants us to look at Ampleforth. Ampleforth. Okay, it's been a while since we covered that one. So let us take a look at Ampleforth. Okay, so pulling up token metrics again. Okay, so not sure what's going on here. It looks like some. Okay, so I think Ampleforth, I think we might be missing some data. I think that's why some of these projects are not published. So I think, okay, so unfortunately we can't really cover that. But maybe Bill has the TA and we could go through that. So we've done a code review on Ampleforth and the technology is good. We think out of all the elastic supply cryptocurrencies, it's the best one. Obviously, they were the first one, so they basically innovated, then everyone else kind of imitated them and tried to change with their own forks of governance and DAOs and all that. But this is still the original.
Okay, so the $1 stable coin that periodically goes to $2.60, that is Ampleforth, right? From a TA point of view, it looks like Ample is making its name to a point where, you know, people want it enough so that it actually does trade above $1 most of the time. Okay, now beyond that, it looks like it's matured and it's one of these things that's going to trade between, you know, 90 cents and $1.40. I think the days of it mooning to $3 are over. I think the most interesting thing about this coin is that it allows for the idea of controlling money supply, the way central banks would control money supply, or the way a corporation might control, say, a stock buyback. So it's got the legacy integrity style in the crypto world, where it's got this mechanism for managing supply. So it's super interesting. I don't know that it changes the world, okay, but it does appear it's weathered its initial storm. And, you know, as time goes on, it's going to, you know, it's going to have a brand like, you know, like Tether, right? It'll be sort of like the original and perhaps the most famous coin of its kind.
All right, thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. So tell us what you think down in the comments below. Okay, wow, super chats are rolling in. Okay, all right, thank you, everybody. All right, so Eric says, what do you see happening to reserve rights, RSR, price prediction, risky or not, since it's a DeFi play? All right, that is a good question. Let's take a look. Okay, that one we do have. Okay, this is not looking so good. Okay, so looking at this here, on the so for trader on the daily, score is not so good. Weekly is better. If we go to the monthly, not so good. Quarterly, not so good. So now if we go to the price prediction, let's take a look and see where the predicted trend is going over the next 30 days. Okay, all right. Yeah, so apologies. Here there is an issue we're investigating. Looks like it didn't get the price for this date. This should be updated soon. But this, how much data do we have for this? Okay, yeah. So, but in general, one small hiccup should not really affect the actual price prediction because it looks at all the historical pricing, and this would just basically be one outlier. But in general, it has reserve not really doing much, just basically going sideways. But we'll go through and update this and fix that issue. Bill?
Okay, coming up here. Okay, so this was in our newsletter. Okay, reserve 12-hour chart. This is pretty classic, you know, up crash with this rounding bottom. Okay, so December 6th, we're talking reserve rights. You know, the handle part of this formation over here, you know, is usually pretty annoying. Pretty annoying in just terms of choppy, it goes down, people can't set trades, it doesn't look like it's going to moon. But then the nature of this formation is that, you know, if it's, you know, if I drew it correctly and if it applies, then one day, you know, you can just look at your screen and reserve can just be gapping higher, right? So, you know, like, I think this teacup and handle is so interesting that this could go and take out the high at 5 cents, right? In other words, if this is what somebody who I respect in this business thinks it is, then this is one of these DeFi related altcoins that have been just sort of destroyed and left for dead, right? So I think when it comes to reserve, you know, you might want to have this on like a watch list, or people are always calling in saying, hey, what's the next 10X? What's the next 100X? I don't know. You know, this could be one of those coins that, you know, a year from now, you're like, wow, I could have bought it less than 2 cents.
All right, thank you, Bill. So let us know what you think about reserve rights. Are you bullish on it? Are you bearish? Let us know. Share with all the crypto family, and be sure to go to tokenmetrics.com to stay up to date on the price prediction. All righty. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the AMA. All right. So here's a good question. Okay. Whoops. Okay. All right. Okay. What coin recommendation do you have for staking passive income strategy? Okay, so how would we go about staking passive income strategy? Okay, let me pull up the indices. I think that's probably the best place to start. So first thing you do, you go to tokenmetrics.com, go to the indices, put in whether you're a trader, value investor. Let's say you're a value investor who's investing for every 3 months, right? We'll keep it nice and simple. Essentially, active portfolio management. Let's do all exchanges. Click submit. We'll go through and build you a model portfolio based on all of that. Right. So actually, this doesn't have too many. So here we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Pax Gold, Leo, and the rest are basically stable coins. Right. So let's say you have all these stable coins, Bitcoin and ETH. The approach then would be to go to, let's take DAI, right? Let's say you have some DAI as part of this index. I would go to CoinGecko, actually, and go to farms and just put in all those coins you have, right? So let's put in DAI. Then let's sort by, so just sorting based purely on liquidity. Okay, what is this? Barnes table pool. Okay, bonds. Okay, this one I've not even heard of. This must be one of those new DeFi projects, because this has 233 million locked up. So one thing when staking, when contributing to yield farming, and basically trying to earn yield or passive income, understand that anything can happen. These protocols can get hacked. You can lose all your money. So I would not put in all your funds. That's why even when doing this, right? In a way, you could say this is why we have all these different pools. I mean, all these different assets. But let's take Bitcoin or ETH, right? I would not put all your ETH into one protocol. I would only put a fraction, maybe 10%, maybe at the most 25%, right? But let's take a look at this burn bridge, because this one is brand new to me. Let me see when they launched. So if we go to the chart, okay, yeah, this launched in October, so around Halloween. Tokenized risk protocol, a fluctuations derivatives protocol for hedging yield sensitivity and market price. Okay, bond token. Okay, interesting. Smart bonds. Boom, I like this. Okay, smart yield products. Okay, but anyway, without kind of getting too deep into it, you want to come into CoinGecko, put in the coins, see what the yield is, right? This is basically about 20% a year. If you're more of a risk taker, sort this and see, okay, this is the highest you can get. This is for DAI and DG. Okay, this you probably have to provide both. This might not be the best. Let me see, can you put in DAI and ETH? Okay, let's just put in ETH, for example. I wish there's a way to filter for both, but it looks like that is not possible. Now let's, okay, so here, okay, everything is YF DAI, but in general, you want to find one that has, let's say, both Ethereum and DAI. That could be one option, right? Let's say you have Bitcoin. You can put in wrapped Bitcoin, which is available, right? So if we look at this, typically I would go for those that have the most value locked, because theoretically those should be more battle tested, less likely to get hacked. But it is crypto. That does happen though, because like Harvest Finance was hacked. So that's not always the case. But that's the first thing I would do, right? The other option would be to go to stakingrewards.com. This is a site for staking. So you just come here and you go through all the assets, and here they go through and they score them, which is nice, right? So let's look at the top rewards. Okay, what is this? Chainlink? Huh. Okay, but anyway, not sure. Okay, let's say you want to stake Ethereum for ETH 2.0, right? You just come here. Actually, sorry, if you're doing it for a quarter, you probably can't do that, right? Because staking is going to be for 12 to 24 months for ETH 2.0. But the rewards for staking Ethereum are not so good, but this does show you all the providers. It has the different rates. So you can come here, sort this. So Celsius looks like they have the best rate for staking ETH. So you would just go to Celsius network and check that out. Let's look at Bitcoin, right? Because going back to this, we're trying to earn yield on all this, right? So basically the stable coins and Bitcoin and Ethereum and Pax Gold. So coming back here to staking rewards, if we go to providers, sort by the rewards, Celsius. Yeah, so in general, Celsius is typically one of the better platforms. And we've had Alex Mashinsky on our channel for an AMA. He's a good guy. And Celsius is one of the more trusted platforms. I don't use them for, actually I have an account, but I don't really use them because you can't get any tokens if you're American. It's only for non-Americans, but Celsius is definitely worth looking into, right? Let me pull up their site here real quick. So for staking, for anything in general regarding staking and earning yields, they're one of the, that's not DeFi. They're one of the more credible platforms. And they're also insured, I believe. Okay, wow, so they changed their site since I last looked at this. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, if you come here, you can view all their rates. Let's do that. So the way this works is you basically are sending your crypto asset to Celsius and you're earning yield. They act as an intermediary. So it's centralized. It's not really DeFi like all the others, right? They take custody of the actual funds. So in this case, if you deposit Bitcoin, this is the APY you would get, right? So think of this as a savings account. So they've been have synthetics. Okay, it looks like they've been adding lots of new altcoins. They have Matic, 21%. So this is definitely one place to start. They have Pax Gold, right? So 7.21%. This is if you get paid in their token, or if you get paid without the token, it's just 5%. So let's say you have this index and you have Pax Gold and you want to earn some money on it, right? You could technically send it to Celsius and that's how that would work. So hope that answers your question. Bill, anything to add to this?
Yes, I was in our private network call and one of our advanced people reminded everybody that you can get insurance on certain smart contracts, but if there's what's called a rug pull, that's on you. So that means if you put your money into a DeFi project and it disappears, you're out of luck. So again, don't put all your money in one fund, one place. Try staking on exchanges. My understanding is Polkadot has a great rate on Kraken. Okay. It's with anything else, you start slow and then you learn. Okay. Bancor is going to be appearing on the 100X show. We talked about that earlier. That's another DeFi platform. I would definitely encourage you to check out that show and learn more.
All right, thank you, Bill. Yes, so speaking of Bancor, as mentioned, we'll be doing a 100X show interview with their head of growth on Wednesday. Tune in for that. We'll be giving away BNT tokens to the best questions. So definitely bring your questions. Yeah, apologies for the microphone. Just moved in the process of building out this studio, so stay tuned. The mic will be hooked up shortly. But yeah, tell us what you think. What would you do to recommend, or rather to get good gains passively using staking, yields, DeFi? Tell us what you would do down below. Okay, wow, this has been a pretty long stream. I think let's wrap this up soon. Okay, here's a question from YouTube Super Chat. How concerned should I be about funds getting hacked on any exchange, but superficially Binance, if I use a whitelist and a security key like Ubiquitous? Good question. Good question. So security is definitely big in crypto. This is something you have to kind of put a lot of attention into. As for those who don't know, I've been hacked myself back in 2018, lost $2.5 million. So security is definitely big. So with Binance, you're actually safer than most exchanges, right? Because Binance has their software fund, basically their insurance fund. Lots of big credible exchanges now have this. Binance has one, KuCoin has one. KuCoin lost over $100 million and they claim they were able to pay it all back based on having insurance, right? Gemini has one. They have their captive insurance fund as well. So because hacks happen a lot in crypto, it's now getting easier for exchanges to get insurance and to really just boost the support and assurance of their customers. So because of that, I wouldn't worry too much about it unless you have a ton of money on Binance where you have more money than the insurance fund. But in terms of actual security, yes, adding whitelisted addresses is crucial. It helps, especially if you're putting funds on Binance, if you're trading on there. But in general, I would say the general rule is if you're going to sell or buy anything, as soon as you do it, take your funds off the exchange and take it to a hardware wallet, a Ledger, Trezor wallet. It's always better to have hardware wallets, right? But if you're trading and you have to have capital on exchanges, let's say you're day trading or swing trading, that makes sense. Definitely whitelist all the addresses, have two-factor authentication. That's not with the phone. Have an authenticator app like Google Authenticator or Authy. YubiKey as well will definitely work as well as 2FA. That's definitely powerful. So that plus the whitelist plus just general security would definitely be a good step. We are planning to make this part of our academy. So there'll be a module on the course on how to protect your crypto from hackers and how to just practice good security for crypto. Bill, anything to add to that in terms of security and exchanges?
Yes, the big exchanges can never afford a massive hack and have their customers not covered, right? In other words, one of the things that could wreck the whole market is if some big player, everyone lost all their money, right? So big exchanges know that it can't happen. So either through security or insurance, they're going to make sure it doesn't. Because there's no Fed backing the crypto system. Really, it's up to the exchanges to give the system, the spine it needs to be able to stand on its own and be credible.
All right, then so Jay the Sixth has a follow-up question. Am I covered on an exchange like Binance for hack insurance if I have not gone through KYC and I'm using Binance in the US? Okay, good question. That I would definitely check with Binance, but I just done a quick search. If you search for Binance insurance, this is what comes up. Basically, Binance insurance funds, looking at this, so this is in USDT. Binance has self-funded the majority of its insurance fund, which has steadily grown by 15% from its initial 10 million. Okay, so they have, wow, so this is it? Thought they had more. Okay, so not sure if this has been updated or not. Okay, liquidation fee. Yeah, I'll definitely Google this just and get more information. But Binance does have a fund, but looks like it's not as much as, because I would think they would have a lot more than 10 million. Because if KuCoin has 100 million. Okay, let me take a step back. Okay, Binance US, looking at this, looks like they do have FDIC insurance. Okay, they're looking at this, they did inject $30 million more. So I'll just Google this. I'm not sure about whether you will be covered. That's something probably best to check with Binance on your account. But in general, Binance is known for having a Safu fund. Actually, maybe that's what I should be searching for. Binance Safu fund. Okay, and not really. Okay, looks like that's not been updated. But in general, with Binance, I think you're definitely good. If you're in the US, if they're licensed in the US, I think they should be FDIC insured. In terms of KYC, that I'm not sure about. All right. But tell us what you think. If anybody out there has any insurance with Binance, let us know what you think down below. Okay, all right. So it's time for us to wrap up the stream. It's been quite the long stream. Bill, any last words for our crypto family?
Yes. So we had a lot of, pro crypto stuff in the beginning. And we're always pro crypto, but we are also pro crypto investors. would like to encourage everybody to pay attention to political headlines, virus headlines, and just make sure you manage your risk. All right. Our motto is to the moon and beyond. We think DeFi 2.0 is coming. Just make sure you don't get, say, overconfident and not use protective stops. So just a public service announcement on safety. DeFi 2.0 is coming. Make sure you've got your funds secure and ready to go for that.
All right, thank you, Bill. Just quick comment to the questions in the comments. Yes, Binance does have FDIC insurance for the US, only for US deposits. Just put that up here quickly. So definitely check that out. But yeah, thank you everybody. As mentioned, the last 1 week has been incredible, right? The amount of support, the amount of new customers we received who are on board the rocket ship. Thank you for taking advantage of the 40% discount between Black Friday and Cyber Monday. We definitely cannot do this without you. So having you all on board is great. Having you here with us on the live stream is great. As a result of all the growth, thank you for all the patience. We know times have been pretty tough and hectic because when people subscribe, they want to make sure they're fully maximizing the platform. So we're working on fixing all the issues with the indices. I think almost all of them should be working except the Binance, I think daily index has an issue, but that should be updated by tomorrow, I would say. And thank you for all the support. I mean, it's been incredible, right? So we can't be here without you. It's been great. If you have any questions, just contact support. We'll get to you. As mentioned earlier, we're hiring, right? So if you have any interest in working with Tokenmetrics and support, if you have experience with support and crypto, we want you, right? Send us your resume, info at tokenmetrics.com. Help us scale crypto support. Because just think about this. How many crypto companies have support where they can talk to you via chat, via email, via YouTube, right? I mean, so we definitely want to make sure we're here to take care of all your needs. And as mentioned, we'll be launching the alerts to the investor plan for email and to the professional plan for the SMS. I would say hopefully by end of this week, maybe even earlier. So stay tuned, and stay tuned for the Bancor Network AMA. We'll be giving away free BNT tokens, right? Free BNT tokens. Okay. That being said, thank you, crypto family. It's been amazing, and as we like to say, the moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. See you next week.
Thank you.